What is up, everybody? Sheik here. Going to go over stuff I'm watching this week and some possible swings I may be getting into. We do have a short week coming up with 4th of July. 4th of July, we are closed. Market's closed. And then I believe Wednesday, it's a half day. So probably going to be trading light Monday, Tuesday. Probably won't trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just take the whole week off. If you're on a smaller account, I would take the entire week off and just not even trade because we might get some choppy, low volume action. But I will obviously hop on in the morning and see if I can find anything. But let's jump into it. So first thing first, I want to go over Tesla and the breakout that I was expecting. And I spoke about this weeks ago. I've been talking about it. I was in swings. Whoever played with me got 120% play off this with the 200 calls for July 19th. And then again, some weeklies that we played Friday, that we banked on as well. Now, looking back here, we got the breakout we wanted with some decent volume pop. RSI diverging here, bullish divergence, as you can see right here. I'll draw it out for you guys. Broke out. We still have ways to go before we're oversold. MACD crossed over as well, bullish, which is great, but on the daily, we did reject the 202.5 area and then close right under 200, right at 198-ish around there. We did hold that 195, 196 area, so I do like it. We didn't get a huge rejection. I do believe we will see a push up to this gap fill right here, this 206, 207 area, which happens to also be the 200 moving average. Also, the 20 is finally above the 50, so that's also a bullish sign. Broke out. So what I see happening this week, we might get a low volume push to this 200 and get a rejection, and then hopefully maybe come back and base around 200, create some consolidation, maybe even come down here to the 190s and retest this breakout before I believe we head over to this 220 area. So this is where I'm looking for in about August, some stuff that are coming out for Tesla that can help it push this to 220. They have robo-taxi news, I believe, on the 8th of August, so around here. So, which kind of coincides. So if you hit the 200, reject, come down here, come around here or consolidate here and build a base around 200, and then push up to the 220, and then maybe get a breakout from the robo-taxi news. So that's what I'm looking for. This week, like I said, Monday, tomorrow, I'm going to look for a break over 200. If we can break, I will take calls up to this 206, 207 area, some short calls. But if we do hold and we don't push, we just chop around, I will probably take some 205s for July 19th or maybe some 220s or 210s for August. But really, what I'm looking at is that open. Let's take a look at actually the options, see if there's anything interesting for July 19th. Obviously, the 200 calls still have a ton of open interest. Let's see, the 220s have a ton of open interest, but for 220s, I'd probably be looking for August 18th or 16th, sorry. 27,000 open interest, got some nice volume at the end of the week there. Again, the 250s, which is kind of out of money, but this would be interesting right here, the 220s for August. Those would be something I'd eyeball, or maybe even these 210s, which doesn't have too much volume or open interest, but we'll take a look at it tomorrow morning at open. So, for Tesla, like I said, hourly chart, let's take a look at it. Came down, held this 195 area. So we look like we built a base out here. Would like a break over this 200 area right here and start consolidating here. So, like I said, we'll take a look at it tomorrow and see where we're going from there. Let's hop over to SPY really quick. Let me get rid of these indicators real quick. Oops, these are levels I don't need. Okay, so the 20 is above the 50, which is above the 200. So we're still bullish. We did have a huge rejection and a double top at this 550 level. This is a giant rejection candle on really good volume. We do have a gap below here, below 540 to 537.2. So what I'm looking for is a loss of this 544 area, maybe 542, for a push down. I do want a small pullback, maybe test this 540. We might not get the gap fill. If we can, then we might be breaking this 20-day moving average, which might push us into a further pullback. But the first pullback I'm looking for is this 540. Of course, there's some political news also going on this weekend. We had the debate last week. There's news that Biden might step down, so this could give us a push back down. But right now, this candle needs some continuation. So if bears can push us down this week down to this 540 and hold this, then bulls can come back and take over. But if they can break this 540, then they have some momentum to this 537, possibly down to 530, 532 area. But we'll take a look at how tomorrow opens. But I am bearish. Bearish. As you can see, the hourly time frame has turned bearish. We broke the trend right here. This trend up is gone now. Now we'll be looking for puts on any pops. So on the hourly, looking for a push up to maybe this 546 area before we grab some puts back down. But ultimately, 540 pullback is what I'm looking for to maybe load up some calls. But that's what I see for SPY. Nvidia has been on a tear, but this rejection up here with a bearish engulfing on some decent volume has not been a good look. And we came down, had a nice little bounce on low volume, which usually indicates that it's just a fake bounce. And then we had a rejection here again with the upside down hammer candle and a bear flag looking like it's forming. This can break down back down to this 117, possibly even further, maybe down to this 106, 107 area. But if we lose this 120, 118 area, of course 120 is really good support. If we lose this, 114 is the next area I would target, but does not look good. Nvidia right now as it closed right below that 20 or right at it. If it breaks this, we could really see a really big pullback to this 105 possibly. If it gets really bearish, as insiders have been selling as well on this name, so I wouldn't really touch Nvidia. One thing I have been staring at is AMD. AMD has been lagging behind all the other semiconductors, which is pretty unfortunate, as AMD is probably one of my favorite names to trade. As the contracts are pretty cheap, and when it does go, it goes. As you can see, we did hit this all-time high and then rejected very hard that day. Ever since then, we've kind of been in this little formation here, this little triangle, this wedge ball now, which is getting to an apex as earnings comes right around the corner, I believe, this end of this month. I do like a breakout. As you can see, we've been holding this trend line. We did have a nice bounce, got sold off again at 165 area, and then another one that got sold off again, 165, 166 area, hitting the top of this. So we might get another pullback into this before we rock it out, but I'm watching this breakout or breakdown. So if it breaks below this I'd say 157 area, then I get bearish down to 145, maybe down to this 200 MA. If we can break out, my next target would be 173. But this will be something I'll keep an eye on this week and possibly next week. So I won't even go too in deep with this. SMCI daily, the 20 is trying to cross the 50 here, as you can see. It did get a breakout out of this little wedge, this ascending wedge, this flag, and got the retest. So if we can get a break above this 900 level and stay above it, I like it to 1000. I do see that we got a big bearish engulfing on high volume on it, so that's not a good sign. Could be a fake breakout and come back down to 748. But like I said, looking for calls above 900, puts below 800. So pretty simple. Keep that on there. One name that I've been hammering away, as everybody knows, has been Amazon. Let me see if I can find my drawings here. Where are you? Okay. So Amazon got the multi-year breakout I was looking for. As I've been telling everybody for weeks, this is going to happen. I'm sure people banked on it. I got a couple contracts, made some money on this. Now, what I'm looking for off this breakout is for a low volume pull back to this 190 area. I want us to pull back here and retest the breakout, which would be right here ish. Let's act like this and move this down a little bit. Right here. So anyway, we got the breakout. We got the 200 rejected. Had another down day. Broke down below 194, which is a which was a big area. Couldn't hold it. 193 right here. 192, 193. We break down that. We can come down to this 190. But again, my biggest thing is I'm looking for either a break above 200 or a retest of this where I'll load up a lot more swings. So my swing targets 190 out. I really hope we get down to here and retest the breakout and hold. And I'll grab some really good swings and we can bank some more 100%ers. But other than that, I do want to see it over 200 for continuation on calls. 4-hour chart, you can see we're still trying to pull back. Really nasty candles here. And with the potential pullback of SPY, we can see Amazon pullback as well, which is what I'm liking, what I'm thinking is going to happen. So keep an eye on this 190 area. I'm not saying it's going to happen this week, but this week, next week, keep an eye on it. If it comes down there, load up, because I think it's going to hold and it's going to create an Apple-like move where we come down, test it, and move back up. So Amazon, always on the watch list since it broke off this. So Netflix, another one that I'm keeping an eye on. As you can see, we're getting to all-time highs again. This can possibly have a breakout like Amazon and other names like Google. What I'm looking for, honestly, what I've seen in most tech names is a cup and handle breakout, which would be this little formation right here and then a little handle forming. So what I want to see for a cup and handle would be to come up here and test the 700, reject a little bit, consolidate, maybe get back down to 650, build a little handle, and then get the breakout. But if we do break out over 700 right away, I think we can go to 750 pretty quickly. So keep an eye on Netflix over 700. I wouldn't play it unless it gets to that. I do think it might be losing some steam here. As you can see, the RSI getting some bearish divergence here. MACD looking like it's going to cross back down. But yes, looking like it's losing some steam and might reject right here before 700 and create the cup that I'm looking for. So I'll keep an eye on it. But above 700 is what I'm looking for on Netflix. Now, there's one stock that I will be looking at this week to load up on some swings. It's going to be a cheap stock, so contracts should be cheap for smaller accounts to play as well. I've been seeing a lot of talk on this on Twitter from other people, and it caught my attention. The chart looks really good to me, and the fundamentals look good to me as well. So is Zillow. So Zillow, obviously home sales are down, but we could be making a turnaround on that. If we do, we can get a pop-up. But what I like here, the reason it's on my list, is we have this gap now from earnings. I don't even think it was earnings, actually. It was some other news that came out here. I don't know exactly what it was, but we had huge volume here as we gapped up all the way to around 49 and then rejected. And we've been kind of on low volume consolidating here. This area right here is very interesting to me, between 44 and 46. It's a load area. As you can see, there's a lot of confluence in this area. We had supply previously that turned into, demand that turned into supply, and now it's turning into demand again. And if we can continue loading up here, as you can see, the 20 crossed over 50. We're coming back around here to this 20 to test it. So I do like us loading up on some calls. Not sure exactly which ones I'm going to get into, but I want to get something in the money with some time, maybe a month or two out, since the contracts are pretty cheap. This isn't Tesla or Amazon or Nvidia. This is $46 stock, as you can see. The premiums on this are pretty cheap. So let's look at July 19, for instance. In the money or at the money, 47 isn't too far off. $1.70, not a big deal. So I'll be looking at July or August calls on this. But what I want to do is start off with maybe one or two contracts and add as we come down. If we can come down to this 44 again, 45, 44 area. I'll load up some more, but what I see here is that we went down and held this 45 area, which was previous resistance turned to support now. So I think this would be a good area to load up. As we can see, we're making some higher highs. Once we break over this 200, which is 47, it's going to continue going. But I like accumulating here in this area, and then once we break out, we can add a full position once we get this clear breakout of 200. And I think this has a lot of space. The first target would obviously be 50. After that, I believe 52, and possibly even higher, like 57, 58. So I do like this name. I think it's beaten up. It's finally getting this move, possibly breaking out of this downtrend. And if home prices or rates come down at all, I think we get a huge move, possibly even back to the 100 level as possible in the next year or so. But of course, a lot depends on housing recovering. So this is one of my biggest swings I'm going to look at this week and try to get some contracts into. One more thing we can look at, I guess, is NQ. NQ again, kind of a double top here at this 20,200 level, or 20,300. Rejected twice in this area. Again, just like SPY, I think we can see a pullback on this name. If we break below 19,900, I think we have a nice little room back down to this 19,745, possibly even to 19,600, which is a 20 MA. So that's another thing I'm looking at. But this is more for futures trading. If anyone's trading futures with me, knows I don't really care about the daily pullbacks on this. I'm looking to scalp the 5 minutes. So I have a strategy. It works for me. And whoever's on Discord knows that I alert those, and they pay out pretty well. So anyway, other than that, I don't really have much else to go over, as we do have a short week. But this is what I'm looking at. Hope this helps, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.